Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Networking 101 workshop. Before we get started, we're just going to wait a few minutes for everyone to come on in and just drop in the chat. What do you think is important when networking, and what's your favorite TV show or movie? All right, I guess we can get started for now. And I'll hand it back to Carissa to get started.
Sorry, just give me 1 minute. Sorry, just can you see my screen? Just
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, hi everyone. So I'm Carissa. I am a second year biochemistry student. I'm also interning at Shopee, and I'm a content creator on LinkedIn too. So that's just like a brief introduction about me. And it was really nice seeing like you guys sharing about your movies and then sharing a bit about what you have, the idea you have about networking, because I'm doing a networking workshop here, and I was actually going to ask you what you guys are thinking, but I have been seeing lots of great answers. If I'm not mistaken, was it Christina that said Emma said being genuine, authentic. I love that. I know there were some people just saying like making friends. We're going to cover all of that. So yeah, I'm super excited. Oh no, my God. I'm sorry. I can't move on to the next slide. Got no idea what's happening now. Oh, there we go. So what is networking? And I kind of hate this because I can't see the comments, but oh, actually, I think I can. Can you guys see this? I'm sorry, I've never done a workshop like this.
We can see it.
Okay,
we can
so wait,
see it.
You can see I'm like looking at the chat, is it?
No, we can see your slides.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So I think I want you to guys so looking at the comments, oh, I like Christina. Oh, thanks for applying, Christina. Meeting other people, building similar profession. Oh, that's really good. That's good. I think like I love the way you say build connection. Any ideas what networking is? Or like how would you put networking? What is the first thing that comes into mind when when people say networking, like you have to network? Creating relationships. I really love that, Shaylee. Like that's a really important part about networking. Oh, I love that too, Alaya. Professional relationship, that is a good way to put it in. Oh yes, you're definitely going to find new opportunities when you network. That's a really good point. And yeah, so there we go. So I kind of want to get into the mindset of networking. So I think all those are really, really good ideas, and I think those are really good ideas. But I think what I also want to mention is that sometimes people go into networking with the wrong mindset. And okay, so this is literally the definition of networking. So there's the action, the process, interacting with other people, building professional relationship. And that is important. That is kind of why people network. They want to get those job opportunities. They want to get referrals. They want to get whatever it is. Maybe you network your way and found a mentor. So all those, there's definitely all those opportunities. But what I would say, and I think this is super important, is that if you want to simplify networking is making friends. Like if you think about networking as anything else, like whether like, okay, I'm here to network because I want a job, I want, certain things, I want a mentor, I'll tell you that is not how you do it. Like that is not going to work. When you go into networking with the mindset of wanting something else, it's going to be tough. It's going to be like what everyone thinks networking is, super intimidating. It's so hard. It takes a lot of time. But when you go in, just trying to make friends, just trying to be friends, that makes things a lot easier, more authentic. And I think that's why some people struggle to like saying, and that's like kind of, to me, that's like a huge difference on what makes networking so difficult. Because like when you constantly want something, like looking for something, and you're like wondering like, why won't people talk to me? Why won't people give it to me? Like, why won't people network with me? But if you come in being genuine and just wanting to make friends, that's when you're going to start to see that networking is not as intimidating, not as difficult as it seems. So I think, okay. So I think the big question, so why do you network? Tell me, I'm sure most of you have definitely heard like, you need to network, like start early. That's where you're going to be, like what network is your net worth, which I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of true. But why do you network? Although I feel like, people do it for the side benefits, all the side product that comes along with it. Yes, that's very true. I love it, Shaylee. Like you can't do things alone. Like you definitely need help. And another good way I've seen people putting it is that, your journey is going to be lots of ups and downs, lots of obstacles. And when you network, sometimes you can remove the barrier, like whatever obstacle you have, just because you learn from someone else. And yes, definitely about learning from someone else. Emma, I love these comments. Oh yes, definitely a support system. You want to build a community, and to build a community, you're going to have to network and yeah, definitely introducing to you to new people, more people, and having more perspective, and as well as just gaining a wider knowledge. You never know how much you can learn from other people. Okay, 5 truths about networking. So first of all, you don't need to be an extrovert. I'm curious, like, is most of you extroverts here? Like, are you guys mostly like, tell me if you're an extrovert or an introvert. I want to know. I am an extrovert, I would say. Ooh, introverts. Ooh, I like ambiverts. Oh wow, a lot of them are introverts or ambiverts. Do I have an extroverted friend? Oh no, everyone seems to be an introvert here. But that's a good, and the things that, like, you really don't need to be an extrovert just because like you see someone who's an extrovert. Yeah, extrovert when I'm around introverted people. That is very true of me as well. Like, I'm not an extrovert around extroverts as well. But yeah, you don't need to be an extrovert. You don't need to have like a really big network. You don't need to go out like talking to people every single day. Like, I've seen introverts who done network really well as well, because sometimes they also focus on the quality. They focus on doing one-to-one, and that's also very beneficial. Okay, and then start early. And this is so starting early, I would say, the best time would have been like in the past, maybe a few years ago, but the second best time is still now. So yeah, I would say start early. The best time for you to be networking is really when you don't need anything. You don't need job, you don't need opportunities, and you're just there to genuinely meet people. So that is the best time. And you kind of want to start networking at that time, because maybe, let's say 1 year down the line, few months down the line, you're looking for a job. But when you already have established that network, you already built relationship with people, it makes it easier for people to help you. Just like, oh, let's say, oh, Emily networked with me, and then for maybe like a few months time, like she needs a job, and I'm like, hey, actually, maybe I have a job like that I can offer her. And the things that I'm not that hesitant, like I would be okay, because one, I already know Emily. I know she's a great person, she's hardworking, she's a great fit. And so I could just easily like give her the job. Whereas if it was someone else, completely random, if I didn't know Emily back then, like I might not give her the opportunities. I might not know she's the right fit for the job. And like, why, like sometimes it's harder to give a stranger the opportunities and help them. But so definitely I would say start early. And it's a long game. It's seriously a long game. Like, when you start networking today, don't expect something miracle, like some job opportunity, some like business opportunity to come tomorrow. In some cases, yes, it might be tomorrow, it might be a few months. Sometimes it takes it maybe even takes years. Maybe 5 years later, you're just like, oh, thank God I met this person. Like, look at, sometimes it is really a small world, and therefore you never know who you might bump into again. And I would say that networking, it's just going to pay in dividends. So start early. It's going to take a while, and it's going to pay in dividends. And yeah, so I think I mentioned this before, you can get referral, you can get opportunities. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this opportunity to speak at a workshop probably came from networking as well, and like showing up on LinkedIn. So yeah, you can get those opportunities. And okay, you will be rejected, you'll be ignored. Like, you can't be genuine, you can be really interested in person and just have like a really come from a really kind, innocent place. We're just like, hey, I just really want to know what you're doing. I'm really interested in talking about you. And then someone's gonna say no. Like, it just happens. Don't take it too personally, and just keep on going. I would say, like, really. Okay, when it comes to networking, there is 2 parts. So the first part about networking is showing up. And you guys are doing an amazing job already, because showing up to this event is a form of showing up. So what I mean by showing up, you can join communities, and I think community is really good. So there's lots of communities now, whether that's your schools, your club, even superposition is a community. There's lots of online communities as well, because that's where you're going to have like-minded people. That's where you're going to have people where you already have similar interests, and therefore you guys need to start talking, and then really try to meet other people as well. So by showing up in communities, you're already exposing yourself to more people, to more opportunities. And other things, events like this, events is also a great way to get to know people. So definitely. And my favorite part, LinkedIn is definitely a really good place to meet professionals. I know it can be intimidating, and it's that, and I kind of want to hear, are you guys already actively networking on LinkedIn? Do you guys enjoy LinkedIn, or are you on the site where just like, I have an account, but it's buried among millions of accounts and it's still there? Yep. Were you all using LinkedIn? Yeah, I can see Christina there. Have a small account. Yes, at least we have an account. Oh, that's a good question. I'm actually not sure if we can get an account on under 18. But yeah. Oh, yes, I like how you guys having good account is good. I like how you guys are having an account, and I like how Trinity say like you don't really post or really interact with it. Yep. That I know. Don't worry, it's you're not the only one. A lot of my friends is the same. So yeah, don't worry. Okay. So I think like another thing I want to add here is one way of showing up on LinkedIn is really by commenting, really by creating content. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the way I get opportunities, because you can always be on LinkedIn and start connecting with all the different people, but another way to do it is you want people to come to you. You want people be connecting with you, reaching out to you. And the way to go about that is being active on the platform. And when I say active, I don't mean just being online. I mean creating content. I mean commenting. I mean reaching out to people. It's not passively just scrolling through and then seeing like all like what your network's up to. It's about creating content to really put yourself out there. So that's one thing. And if you don't have any content ideas, like seriously, you can do editing, whether that's a lesson learned, whether that's your experience, like just maybe start off like, I don't know, maybe you guys can talk about your experience at SuperPOSITRON. Like who knows, maybe someone else on LinkedIn be like, hey, I've been at SuperPOSITRON, and you guys can connect with each other. So definitely, if anything, you can always write about your experiences. This workshop would be a good one. You can always tag me, I'll come like and comment. Like, so yeah, just really want to show up and put yourself out there. Oh, that's a good one, Shaylee. Yeah, don't worry, I'm not gonna lie, I'm only creating content on LinkedIn, and social media does scare me as well. If you want, you can always reach out to me. I can let you know like how my experience, because trust me, I used to be so scared about social media too. Like I never post anything on Instagram just because I'm so scared. But yeah, Christina's right. You just need your first step. You just need to get over that fear. And the following post will definitely always get easier. Love this. So you guys are building a good community, helping each other out. That's a really good step. Okay. So part 2. So showing up is actually the easy part, because you just sign up for the event, you just create an account. Posting on LinkedIn is a bit harder, but whether that's like putting yourself out into communities, signing up, that's the easy part. Showing up is the easy part. This is the harder part, building relationships. And what I mean by building relationship is, not just like, so having conversations, like being actual friends. Like, it's not just like, hey, I met you today at SuperPOSITRON. It's like maybe 2 months from now, you guys are still talking. Like that's the kind of thing what I meant by building relationship. Okay, So how do you build a relationship? First off, I would say your starting point, you probably want to find something of a similar interest. So maybe everyone here, like you guys are probably interested in tech. You guys probably, so you guys are interested in tech because that's kind of why SuperPOSITRON is about. So definitely like find something similar. It can even be something as similar like having the same name if your name is really common. Like that's something, just having something in common will really help connect you with another person, and that's how you're going to start that, you know, that friendship, that relationship. Just find something you have in common and working together on something. You know, when you have something similar, you have a similar interest, like you can work on projects together. I don't know, so I think like maybe an example, I started meeting other people on LinkedIn. I started hosting events with other people. So just work together, you spend more time with people, and that's how you're going to build that relationship. That's how you're going to cultivate it. And I think, was it Christina that mentioned this at the start, being genuine and authentic? But I'll say this is so important. So just be genuine. Don't have like, you know, I feel like when you first meet people, don't make it be about just like, okay, like, this person, let's say, is working in Amazon, maybe he can give me a job, that kind of thing. You really want to be curious. You want to be learning about someone else. You want to make them, make it about them. That's how I put it. So always focus about like learning about the person and not how it can benefit you. Because let me tell you, like when you start from that perspective, like down the road, people will definitely like be more willing to help you. So yeah, that's how I put it. So just be genuine. Oh my God. I think like the worst experience I had, like someone connected with me and then they send me a message saying like, hey Carissa, you're my new connection, so please like, comment, and share my content. That is not how you do it, guys. Like, please don't do that. It's annoying. I'm just like, why should I like, share, comment on your stuff when first of all, I have not seen your stuff. I don't know you. Why should I do that? So just be genuine and follow up. So I would say, when you start making the first interaction, yes, that's true. Oh yes, that's true, Shaylee. Like cold emails, like it's okay. It's okay to to write cold emails, stuff like that, but make sure you're coming, just make sure you're coming in like a genuine way. And follow-ups. So when you do follow-up, so I would say a good rule of thumb is to follow up every 3 months. So maybe let's say I met okay, let's see. So let's say I met Shaylee today, and then maybe we want to catch up, like whether that's a month time, 3 months time. Although people say 3 months time, I think because people tend to be really, really busy. So definitely you don't want to catch up too often. Sometimes once a month is a huge commitment for some people, but it kind of also depends on how the relationship going. So yeah, I would say follow up 2 months time. So what I would do is maybe let's say if I have a conversation with I hope I pronounce this correctly, Alaya. And then maybe 3 months down the road, she took my advice. Maybe she managed to take some tips over this workshop, start to implement it, and then getting some results and telling me about it. Like that's also a really good way to follow up. Yeah. You have to prevent relationship from dying. Like sometimes the best opportunities comes from building that strong and close relationship with the person. And besides, I think it's nice to grow your network, but at the same time, you want to be keeping it. You want to be actually expanding it and not just like having someone in your network and then they start dropping off again. So LinkedIn networking. Okay. So I think I mentioned before, LinkedIn is a really good way of networking. And I'm going to show you like how I start to build relationships. So, oops. So yeah. So if it was me, like I would have like maybe see on my feed and say, oh, maybe Naya has like this nice post, and personally this is how I start networking on LinkedIn. Like this is how I do it step by step. I would go to their profile, read their about section. So, or maybe just even see what they're doing. So let's say, oh, okay, I'm just gonna make it quick, but let's say I really love Nyara's resume. And then here's the thing, here's the trick. Like, please don't just click connect and then send. Please add a note. And then so what you want is that you want to say, hi Nyara. So let's say like, hi Nyara, your resume looks amazing. Like I would first start with showing that you actually are interested in this person. And then, find something cool about them. They have, and that's kind of why you want to optimize. You want to make sure your profile is filled so that when someone goes to your profile, they have something, like at least they have something to say. So maybe let's say I was working at Apple, I was be like, hey, I'm actually working at Apple as well. I'm an intern at Apple as well. So that's what I'll do. Like find similar interests. Two, it shows that you are genuinely interested in learning about the person. So once you put your message, and you can use templates. There's always that. But I think like the best relationship forms from actually like customizing your connection request, actually like be actually interested in that person. So I would say crafting your message is super important, and I'm going to show you why. So if you, okay, so see, I got, come on LinkedIn. Okay, if LinkedIn's not going to work, if LinkedIn's not going to load quickly, but here's the idea. Most people don't send a personalized connection request. So there's lots of people over here. So yeah, I actually probably have like 1,000 requests that I haven't attended, or I just can't be bothered. I'll just like look through. But you have to notice, like, look at these people, like they don't stand out to me that much. What makes the best connection request is things like that, when they have a personalized message, so I can see why they're interested in me. Like, because the things that you never know, whether like these people without personalized connection requests, whether that's like, one, they want to sell you a course. Like I also get that a lot. Be like, Carissa, do you want to buy my course? Do you want to buy my public speaking workshop? And I'm like, no, thank you. Or the ones that ask me to give them a job when clearly I'm a student too, and I don't have jobs. Like I'm looking for a job too. So I really can't help you in that case. So yeah, so I think it's helpful to have a personalized request. It makes you stand out with it from the crowd as well. And it kind of helped me to start a conversation with someone else. So that is one thing. And that's how I'll recommend you guys when it comes to networking. Okay, so yeah, I think like when it comes to LinkedIn networking, some ground rule: please don't ask for a job immediately. Show that you're interested. I know like people reach out to recruiters like asking for a job. Like first, I would say like some recruiters might be able to help and some recruiters might not. But then like, you kind of want to build that relationship before asking for a job, like, or even like when you meet someone else in a company, like an employee in a company that you're really interested in, like sometimes they can't give you the job. So yeah, I would say sometime if you first met the person and you asking them to give you a job, like that's actually quite a huge favor to do considering they don't know you. So I would say like that's not something you want to dive into, because it just sometimes come out as you like, oh, you just really want a job. Coffee chats in person, like if you did it offline, it's probably a bit easier. You can buy someone coffee, have a chat with them. But then with this virtual event, especially when literally, whether you're working, whether you're studying, it's just Zoom all day, even like events like this. So sometimes asking for a coffee chat, especially when you first met them, is a bit challenging. Like it is quite a huge commitment. You might want to start off with like whether that's commenting on their posts, making small talks, like learning about them beforehand. and then only afterwards asking like, and then see how well you get along. I think that's also an important factor. If both person is getting along really well, then definitely I think like it's easier, like just hop on a coffee chat. How many times back and forth you need? I have heard something around like 3 might work. It really depends on how well that conversation's going. So yeah, you just kind of have to like have that feel, but maybe around like 3 should be enough. Like you can always try. And start with praising them, like telling them what you learn about them, what you find interesting. With the example just now, like I enjoy the I enjoy the resume, whether that's their job, their course, like anything is simple. And then always ask simple question. Don't ask too complicated at first start, like where you need like paragraphs to answer. So I think like maybe simple question would be okay. So I think questions to avoid is something like how are you? Like, are you gonna expect me to say something else apart from I'm good? Like, do you want me to tell you my whole story, how my went, or like how bad my day went when I first met you? So I would say don't ask how are you. Like you can refer to their profile, do your research, so do your due diligence, and then see what you can ask. Be curious, be specific about what question you want to ask. So that will be my advice. And you can have you can do the right things. You can be sending personalized invite, you can be doing your research, you can be showing genuine interest in them, and then they still ignore you. And yes, it's hard, but I would say you just need to remember, most of the time, I hope, is that it's not really your fault. So I have those situations where people just ignore me, but then when I send their first connection request, like even though it's so personalized, I was doing all my research, but they ignore me. And I would say that's okay. 3 months actually, so what happened, I was actually like 3 months down the road, they were like, I started following up, in the sense that I actually met the same person again in a different event, and I had a chance to talk to them, and then that person went back to my profile and see, oh my gosh, Carissa actually sent a connection request 3 months ago, she was all personalized, like she completely missed it. So it's not your fault, really. Sometimes, especially people who are big, people who are busy, like I think that's most of a lot of us. So yeah. Oh, that's a good question, Shaylee. How do you sound like how do you send a personalized invite without sounding like a stalker? I would say like don't go too deep. Maybe just point out one thing, like, and then like point out the things that the person's already showcasing. So maybe for me, you can find on my LinkedIn profile that, let's say I created content, I talk about topic, I'm posting publicly, and that's something you can see, and that's something I want to share to the public too. So talk about those. Like if you talk about my family or like something like that, that's like more sensitive and I got no idea, but I would say that's how you don't sound too much like a stalker. Does that, I hope that helps. But yeah, like whatever, that's I would say don't dive too deep. And besides, I feel like whatever a person put on a LinkedIn profile, they should be okay with it. And okay, so just checking in, kind of like following up, I would say always check in with people. I know that it's sometimes really awkward and just like, okay, let me like um ping Shaylee like just randomly out of the blue, like I don't have anything to say, that kind of thing. But I would say, sometimes it's really nice to get random messages. It's like when you just want to check in with people, saying like, hey, how have you been doing? Like maybe 2 months ago you say you're applying to jobs, like just following up is sometimes really, really, it's sometimes just really nice. And okay, that's all from my side. I hope those tips help you in terms of getting to understand what networking actually looks like. Just remember it's two-part, meeting people, and you really want to try to build that relationship. I hope that was really helpful. Do you guys have any questions? Yay, heart shape to you too, Shaylee. Yeah. Questions? Yeah, no, thank you for coming. I really appreciate talking to you guys. Yeah. Yeah. Feel free to always reach out to me. I'm always happy to help. I'm definitely the type of person who will go through my LinkedIn messages. So yeah, I might not. So yeah, feel free to send me a personalized invite. You can always say you attended my workshop. I'm just like, oh yeah, okay. And yeah, we can start talking. But yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, that's a great question. Would you recommend putting a profile pic on LinkedIn? This is so good. Like, because interestingly, I'm actually doing a LinkedIn profile review tomorrow morning, depending on what time zone you're from. But it is at 12 p.m. EST. And then yeah, I was actually good. Like, and then this is something I want to talk about too. So to answer your question, Amanda, I would 100% recommend putting a profile picture on your LinkedIn. Get a professional headshot. You want at least probably like for the circle, like the circle on your LinkedIn profile picture, you want it to be filled around like 60%. That's what I would say. But that is so important because professional headshots, like professional profile pictures, you actually get around like 21 times more views for your profile. And then like for non-professional it's probably like 14 times, but that's still a lot. And that's kind of so the things that with profile pictures, you want to get people the sense of yourself, especially when LinkedIn focus more on building relationship than instead of Instagram, because like maybe Instagram you're just there to follow people and stuff like that, but on LinkedIn you want to really show yourself. So yes, I would definitely 100% put a good profile picture on LinkedIn. Why don't we all share our LinkedIn? Oh yeah, that is a good right. That is a good idea. That is a good idea. I feel like we should. Um, I think we can do it on Discord. I don't know, like maybe um someone from SuperPOSITRON, like one of the hosts, would like to jump in on this. I don't know if we have something like that. I don't know. Okay, we'll come back to that. Oh, thank you so much for your kind words, Aaliyah. I really hope. I'm really happy to hear this. Like, really, like, don't be afraid. Just go out and network. It's gonna take some time, but if anything, you can always reach out. Like, if you need tips and be like, yeah, make it personal. Yes, make it more personable. Definitely. What is your opinion on posts on LinkedIn? Is it unprofessional? This is a good question. So when it comes to LinkedIn, I actually encourage people to post on LinkedIn because that's how you're gonna get those jobs. That's how you're gonna show yourself really. Whether you want to get a job, you want to get opportunities, like you have to put yourself out there. Like seriously, like do post on LinkedIn. And besides, there's only like 1 to 2% of people on LinkedIn that's actually like posting weekly. So if you're gonna post weekly, you can be that 1 to 2%. And I'm not gonna lie, like I started when I first started LinkedIn, I wasn't posting at all. And so LinkedIn was really boring kind of thing. And and then the things that some of my friends, so what happened was that, they started creating content on LinkedIn. They started, whether that's building their audience and just sharing their thoughts, that was how they were able to get reached out by recruiters from big companies, like whether that's Google, Facebook, Snapchat. And other people also got workshop opportunities. They also got like offered to work at a startup too, like, or be a co-founder. So I would say definitely post on LinkedIn. I think not enough people post on LinkedIn really. It's not unprofessional, like don't think about it that way. Like it's actually, because in the end of like when you post, maybe somewhat the future employer might see it, they might like your post and be like, hey, I really like this person, like why not we give them a job. So yeah. Oh yes, yes. Do start making an account, Jaylee. It is really helpful if you know how to use it, right? Um. Yep. Yep. Oh, thanks, Nikita, for that. Yeah. Drop your LinkedIn miscellaneous. That'll be helpful. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Nice. Do you have any more questions? I realized that this did not take up an hour. But yeah. Okay. Hi. How's my internship? Oh, that's a good question. It's very don't worry. It has been pretty good. Yes and no. I am learning a lot. It is my first time being in a bigger company, so I've been learning a lot. A bit stressful, but yeah. What would you consider a good bio for LinkedIn? Okay, that's a good question. And then there is, I don't know where to start with this. So there's a few tips and tricks. So something like, write in first person and not third person because you want to be personable. Other tips would be like, you want to break it down because sometimes you have to imagine a recruiter or someone who want to hire you. Like, there's a lot of recruiter, a lot of sources who are looking for potential candidates on LinkedIn. So when you go so in your bio, what you really want to do is that you don't want to be writing an essay. You want to showcase your key skills. You want to really break it down and then show you want to break down into like simple paragraphs, so when a recruiter comes they can just quickly scroll through your bio and get all the necessary information. Other tips would be like, you can add your skills. um you can add your skills, so maybe let's say you can do Python, stuff like that. That would also help. And yeah, in terms of good bio, there is, I might share it in group, like maybe a few ideas, because like everyone can write it their own way. Structure wise, oh, how do I put this? Structure wise, there is examples, there are templates that I've seen. But yeah, there's a lot of tips and tricks. I feel like that can be a whole new topic. So yeah, you can reach out to me maybe late afterwards and I can like go deeper into this. But yeah, awesome. Okay. I don't have I yeah. Um oh god. I got no idea what organizer at. And yeah, okay. And okay, since the organizers are not here, but yeah, I would say thank you everyone for coming. I really looking forward and hopefully I get to meet more of you guys. Oh, they're here? Okay, I need to find them.
Hi.
I got, oh yeah, Johnny's back. I got so worried for a minute.
Yeah. If that's everything for today and there's no more questions, we would first just like to thank you so much for hosting this workshop again. And thank you to all the participants for attending. The hacking officially starts at 10 o'clock, so good luck to everyone and hope you enjoyed Liftoff and all the workshops. And okay, good night everyone, or have a good day.
Yeah.